it's time to have the faith. I'm going to class this as a spiritual awakening psychic reading because I don't know what else to put through. I was going to do a tarot reading, but then this popped into my head. It's time to have faith. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Strength card. Oh, hello. Yeah. What this feels like is it feels like a collective who might be having a little bit of trouble easing into that kind of belief that source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, has your back. Come on, baby, in the way. Come on. I don't want to be dancing around the table with you. And it's time to have that faith, right? So if you're experiencing a bit of a tough time in whatever area of your life, it's about having that faith and belief. There we go, confirmation, Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. That source has your back, right? You're not going to be left in that situation in the Five of Pentacles, provided you can maintain your vibration. Queen of Swords in the reverse. I feel like this collective has got into their head. They've got into that kind of fear, negativity, self-doubt, etc., etc. And when we start doing that, that's when our vibration lowers. Now, having been somebody who was like that most of my life, I get it's hard, right? But it's about having that faith and belief. Now, unless this is one of your kind of karmic lessons, I mean, it is in itself. Don't panic, right? The worst thing you can do if you're going through a tough time is panic. So, case in point, right? You know, December's here now. The work's dried up. You know, I'm far short of hitting what I need by the end of December. I know it's the start of December, but I'm far short of hitting what I need for the end of December for my bills and stuff like that. Now, having been in this position last year and having had certain circumstances in my life play out whereby I was literally facing ruin and coming back at the last moment, I have faith and belief. Now, the human part of my mind wants to kick in and go panic, panic, panic. But my soul, which I tap into more every day, is going, it's going to be fine. You're going to be all right. You know what I mean? I should say, you should always do what I say, could control the variables, which means if there's anything that you can do, so a little bit shameless plug in here. So as well as the same day guaranteed recorded tarot readings, I'm now offering same day video chat readings. You have to text me for that. I can't guarantee them like I can do the recorded ones. But you know, I'm controlling the variables. Is there anything else I can offer that people might be interested in? Seven of Cups in the reverse. So your abundance is coming. Okay, the universe wants to provide this to you. It does feel a little bit like a test. It's not a heavy karmic test as such, but it's a little bit of a test of. I feel like this collective might have dipped into a little bit of that kind of why me? Why does this always happen to me? What's going off? Da 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 da. And you're being asked to have a little bit of you know, bit of faith, right? Seven of Pentacles. You're not where you want to be yet, but it's going in the right direction. Just always remember that, okay? Don't let the fears and doubts, Ten of Cups in the reverse, get to you, right? Don't go into kind of catastrophizing. Okay, my abundance is never coming. My wish fulfillment's never coming. Okay, because bottom of the deck, that's devil energy. Okay, that's devil energy trying to creep in. Nine of Cups in the reverse, Justice card in the reverse, Page of Pentacles in the reverse. It's that devil energy is trying to make you think, is there any more I can do? Now, just reverting back to that control the variables thing that I was saying there. So in my case, for example, there's nothing more I can do. You know, I'm going to continue to go online and kind of drum up some business that way. Don't get me wrong. But there's no point sitting there going, yeah, but is there any more I can do? Because it feels like this test, this karmic test, is about releasing that fear and releasing the control. If you go into that, is there any more I can do? Panic, panic, panic. You're not going to get the justice you deserve, and you're not going to give yourself a little bit of an opportunity to find some kind of peace in the situation. Now, when things are going wrong, when you know things aren't going the way that we want or that we deserve, it's easy to not give yourself a little bit of opportunity to find some kind of peace. But that's what you're being asked to do. You know, everything's a lesson. Two of Pentacles in the reverse position. This for me is confirmation that this is about breaking a karmic cycle. Everything's a lesson, and sometimes the lessons aren't fight, 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 fight. They're relax, 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 right? Two of Wands, you're being asked to make some kind of plan moving forwards towards Three of Cups celebration. Okay, start getting in and instilling in your mind that very soon you are going to be celebrating. You are going to be going into an abundant era. Wheel of Fortune's come flying out. There's going to be a shift and a change. Now, I don't necessarily feel this reading's for me. I know that I've used a lot of kind of personal experiences there and analogies, but like I say, I'm not panicking. So this definitely isn't for me. However, with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, I had a reading last night with Daryl Turner, and he doesn't do tarot, but he said he was getting the Wheel of Fortune coming out in his mind. Okay, so similar to myself, it feels like if you can kind of slip into that energy of it's going to be okay, let's not panic, blah blah blah, the wheel will turn. Okay, right, so what we've got coming out here, right, Six of Pentacles, Empress in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles. So what this feels like to me is, because Six of Pentacles is about balance. Yes, the Empress in the reverse can talk about toxic femininity, but I'm going more Queen of Pentacles, about kind of pulling that energy back. Knight of Pentacles, let's start moving forward. So let's find some kind of energetic balance. Let's start pulling the energy and focus back to yourself. And then once you've kind of pulled that back, let's slowly start pushing forwards in the direction that we want. So again, I'm going to use a personal example. This is just one that's kind of I've plucked out of thin air, to be honest with you. So if this was for me, this would be about saying, right, well, let's find that balance, and then let's pull the energy back in regard to what we're doing. So let's not focus on the new wave stuff for the time being. That's in hand. Let's focus on the urban warlock healing stuff. Let's focus on ourselves as a person as well. You know, removing the work out of the way and start pushing forwards. For too long, the dark energy has tried to chase you. You've cut free, you've cut the cord, you've cut the ties, and you're several miles up the road now. So as long as you keep a steady movement forwards, it's not going to catch you. Okay, you're too far up the road. Okay, and then what I've got in my mind is it's like somebody's kind of like sprinting, and they've sprinted and they've sprinted and they've sprinted, and they're absolutely exhausted. They've still got energy, so they're not going to stop completely. But yeah, just keep pushing forwards. You know, you've left the situation, you've left people, whatever it is, in the dust. It had something to do with people thinking about themselves, greedy, selfish energy. Understand and know that you have made the right choices throughout. Others around you might not be able to see that clearly, but that's on them, basically. If they can't see your reasons, I'm also getting a message saying there's a lot of people who have forgotten who you are and what you've been through. Okay, but again, that's on them. That's on them. 10 of Wands in the reverse, 7 of Swords in the upright. Okay, 4 of Swords. Right. What this feels like is that this collective is just having a little bit of trouble releasing a situation, and I feel like with the 7 of Swords there has been some sneaky deceptive behavior going off in the background, but you've not been able to prove it. So you've been asked to just take some time away from it. It's time to release it. Sometimes in life, the lesson is to leave something in the past without having the answers, and it's got a feel of that to it. You're going to be perfectly fine, okay? But let's shift and remove that fear mindset, okay? Provided you have trust and faith, nothing will happen, okay? There you go.